First Sergeant John Camacho has been serving our country for 24 years.
For me, I think it's like a calling, believe it or not. It was something inside me that said, this is what I was here for.
So when the Hicksville native and lifelong Islanders fan approaches Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum...
You know what I really think about the past? How the soldiers in the past that have passed on to people who are served, that's really what it reminds me of.
How much does your husband love this country?
Oh my God, he would put his life in the line.
As a fan, John has attended many Islander games, but none like tonight. You see, John's a special guest of Islander star Matt Molson. Molson attended a Wounded Warriors Gala last summer and wanted to give back.
Paying tribute to the people that are serving and risking their lives for us. And, it's been an honor to meet them and host them at the game.
I feel like I'm 15 again. I feel like I'm a little kid again, I'll be honest with you. I feel like a little kid again.
So, for one night, a Long Island hero is treated like one.
It still gives me goosebumps.
But John's night is just getting started. He had great seats.
You saw how they can stomp on the dime on this?
A great effort from the man who brought them there.
Yeah!
Even a great hometown introduction.
Please welcome Matt Molson's guest, First Sergeant John Camacho of the United States Army.
I got goosebumps. I love the fact that everyone appreciates us. It's really nice.
But the best is yet to come.
How you doing, Matt? Great. John Camacho is my wife, Lisette.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
John finally gets to meet Matt. Tour the Islanders' locker room.
Wow, this is so cool. Look at this.
Even sit in Molson's locker.
Thanks for bringing it back. That's pretty cool.
Oh, my pleasure.
This is so cool.
My pleasure.
After about 10 minutes and some signed memorabilia,
Yeah, this I wasn't expecting, the hockey stick.
the night is over.
So is this better than you thought?
Actually, 5 million times better than I thought. Here I am, 41 years old, and I feel like I'm 10. I'm goosebumps. I say this is pretty cool. Definitely cool.
At Nassau Coliseum, Jamie Stewart, News 12, Long Island. Millions of teenagers love making YouTube videos. Matthew Somer is no different. Well, maybe a little.
My goal is to be the world's strongest teenager.
And at the ripe old age of 18, Matt is well on his way. He has already set 8 U.S. and world records in deadlifts and squats. His max, 711 pounds.
I've been playing football since I was 4 years old. I loved it. And, I found something that I'm 10 times better at. I'm doing something that 99% of Americans can't even do. We'll put 600 on the bar, okay?
Which means there are some jealous Americans.
I get the nastiest looks all the time. I get people that just sit there and stare at me.
What happens when you've got a bunch of big guys lifting a lot of weight and then you come over and throw on 5 more 45s?
They look at me and they just shake their hands. They go like this and I give up.
But being the strongest isn't always what it's cracked up to be.
You just can't pick anyone else at the gym and ask them to spot you.
Could I handle it?
Can you?
Matt routinely lifts over 700 pounds. In fact, right now, he's doing 705. That's an incredible amount of weight for an 18-year-old. But is it safe? Matt has the perfect man to ask.
Oh, that's nice.
Merrick doctor Richard Siebert not only treats Matt, he helps train him using his powerlifting background.
I talk about the spine being like an accordion, and after 700 pounds on your back and then deadlifting it, that accordion's pretty closed down. So we want to open that up.
560.
Okay.
No, I'm not worried at all, because I feel like, if you know how to do it the right way, you won't get hurt. 600 twice, that should be easy.
Easy now, but what about the Junior Olympics Matt's training for this July?
Teens from around the world, the strongest teens in their country, coming to compete in this one meet.
Stand up, stand up! Do you think they know who you are already?
After this one, they will.
It was a parent's worst nightmare.
To sit there and watch your healthy 16-year-old son, laying in a bed with tubes out of him, it was awful.
It made front-page news and almost cost Hop Hog wrestler Nick Moriello his life.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So it's like over the summer I couldn't breathe at all.
But last night, Nick breathed, wrestled, and won. It was his first dual meet since surviving a MRSA infection back in February.
This is like the best shape I've ever been at this time right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know, guess all the hard work I put in the off season just to get back.
MRSA is commonly spread during contact sports through abrasions or wounds. Coach Chris Messina says he saw the warning signs, but still was shocked at what happened.
His knuckles were cut, they were a little bloody. We wrestled in a number of tournaments where the mats weren't cleaned and things weren't done the way they should have been.
While Nick is fully recovered, others want to make every effort to ensure this doesn't happen again. State Senator Lee Zeldin, a former middle school wrestler, is developing legislation requiring wrestling mats to be cleaned before practices and meets. The bill would also mandate that schools holding tournaments have working showers.
They're going to wrestling tournaments elsewhere, sometimes going upstate, and there's no functional showers. And they're there for 2-3 days.
If the bill passes, it would go into effect next school year. But the Long Island wrestling community isn't waiting that long.
I'd like to welcome everybody to today's webinar on how to prevent skin infections.
Anytime you can educate coaches to keep the safety and maintain the well-being of the athletes they work with, there's nothing negative to it. And this is a way for us to maintain the safety when they compete in the sport of wrestling.
Meanwhile, over at Plain Edge High School, listen to what Coach Rob Schaefer is doing.
We're going to go with red on Monday. We had some concerns where kids weren't taking their stuff home and getting it washed properly. So we gave them practice gear, two gray shirts and 2 red shirts, and we basically told them today's a red day or today's a gray day, and they would have to alternate their shirts so we knew that they were always clean. Not your mom and dad's responsibility to have this for you. It is yours. Staying healthy is important to you. You'll do this correctly.
And that may be the key. You can fix showers, clean mats, and change clothes. But it's up to the kids to take heed.
It's a little bit of both. We should have clean stuff to wrestle on, but you also have to make sure you're clean yourself.
Valuable lesson.
Yeah.
Jamie Stewart, News 12, Long Island.
This past weekend in Seaford, a different type of ball was being played. It's the kind of game we all played as kids. Well, sort of.
In nearly every neighborhood and every backyard, the game has been played. But not like this.
Play ball!
Wiffle ball.
I've been clocked at 91.
Jim Powell traveled all the way from St. Louis to Seaford to show off his arm.
What's your specialty pitch? Do you have one?
Yeah, I can't tell you that. I'd have to kill you.
This is no joke.
Not for me, it isn't.
And not for one of the older players of this kid's game, 47-year-old former college pitcher Paul McBride.
The art of scuffing a ball. Some guys use sandpaper, some guys use a sharp knife.
McBride may be old school, but the younger fellows say he's a student of the wiffle.
Do you scuff the ball?
Yes, I do. In order to get movement on the ball, you need to add ridges, which increases the turbulence.
In the Golden Stick League, games are about 4 or 5 innings long. Each team consists of 3 to 4 players. But if you're looking for base runners, there are none.
The only time you run is when you hit a homer. Around the bases, more for media effect.
And that's not easy. Just ask former Yankees scout Jim Powell.
Major leaguers could not hit this wiffle ball.
Whether you've got the power, there it is, or the finesse, whether you're young or just young at heart, this sport is all heart.
How long are you going to play this game for?
Until I throw my arm out, which could be my next pitch.